Go ahead, please.
I really want to share this with your audience, that communism will deliver equity. It always does. But what you get is like everyone will have the equal share of misery, of poverty, and of oppression. Please remember that. So first of all, maybe I should explain why I want to even go there.
Right.
Okay. I know that Cuba is a communist country, and I have an idea what it would be. But I'm a photographer, and I see a lot of fantastic photos those photographers bring back, just like a paradise, like a tropical paradise with beautiful old cars and beautiful people. Cuban people are just absolutely beautiful. And cigar and a musician. I said, well, no, it's not quite what I imagined. So I want to go and find it out. And so I am so lucky to go there.
When was that, Xi? Which year?
It's May 2017. When I came back, just after I came back, the travel to Cuba was banned. So I would say the last group of people was able to make it way there.
Yeah, so actually she took a lot of nice pictures. We can, ask our back end to show some of them. She's a good photographer. That's what we did not know.
That's my hobby. Yes.
So then what is your experience? How was Cuba?
Well, you can show some of my good photos, and those are the photos you see from most of the Americans come back with.
Okay.
And see, that's a tourist. That's just fun. Just go there and have fun. And
Propaganda photos.
Well, yeah, I would think this just because people don't go far enough into Havana. So these are, it is fun if you don't go far enough. And it's beautiful. The Cuban people just absolutely beautiful. Music is absolutely fantastic. And this is the waterfront of Havana. And most of the people came from a cruise ship. You can see that they unload like thousands of people and give them like 3 hours just to go to see the part that they can go because they won't go far enough into the city. A lot of them come back with just absolutely beautiful photos, which is true.
Okay.
But in order to understand Cuba, you have to go a little further. Mm-hmm. And I am an independent traveler, so I went there by myself, and I don't speak Spanish. So I stayed with some in Airbnb. And so I'm in, I would say like a 20 or 30 minutes walk to the waterfront. So I see more. The first thing I want you to show is the empty stores.
Okay.
That's really empty. I don't know what that guy was eating. There's nothing. And this is a store.
Wow, that's a store.
Yeah, it's not a restaurant. I think it's a grocery store of some kind. But I have more. You can say that that's something that was just remind me of Mao's China. That's I don't know, hot dog. So
yeah, see, that's the empty stores
that's a store.
mentioned.
That's a store that sell things.
Food.
I see.
It's some kind of bread. And I want to just keep showing so I can tell you a story of one.
Yeah, let's keep showing.
This is like a vegetable oil. Yeah, and I think so. Okay.
Vegetable.
Let's go to it's vegetable. And there's one, I want to stop. Okay, go on. Yeah, this is a liquor store.
Liquor store.
Java's. I don't know what this store is. That's the meat store.
Meat store. I see only bones.
Bones.
It's a bone store. That's call it bone store.
Okay, bone store. Yeah, that's food store.
Gosh.
Food. This one, I talked to this person. He said, all the rice is from China.
Really?
He showed me the bag. Yeah, it's from China. Yeah, they can't even produce their own rice.
And as I remember, because I did this, let me just insert a little bit. I did this American history talk, right? 美国史话. You know, Cuba is one of the earliest colonies from Europe, right? It's just that they love that island. You know, so
that
strong
island,
agriculture.
It's like
sugar.
a paradise.
Yeah, paradise.
Supposedly, I mean
Oh,
that's
boy.
just rich in soil, and they have all sorts of things. Yeah, growing there. But there's one photo I want you to show, so I can tell you the story. Here, just stop here. So that's the first day that I was in Havana. I walk into this store, and so I see people using some kind of a little booklet. And then the person, the people who work in the store will do some kind of they will write something on it, and then they will cross out something. And guess what? I know right away what it is. Do you? Can you guess? That's it's ration coupon. That's what we used to have in China.
Oh.
Wow.
And I want to make sure that was what I was thinking. So I tried to talk to this guy, but of course we can't communicate. And this guy in blue, he said,
"Oh,
what?
Okay.
No talk.
No handcuff. Don't talk. Don't ask questions."
Oh.
Wow.
So he did that. Yeah, it was.
I see. So
it was interesting.
he means he could be handcuffed if he talked to
or
you.
me, I don't know, but he did that. Because I was still I tried to figure out exactly, and I want to make sure I was correct. And he did that. I said, okay, stay away. So I left.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me explain a little bit. The food coupon, that's how the socialist nation used to, when people buy things, they cannot pay you pay you money, you give them goods, right?
No, they restrict you a certain amount.
You only
right?
buy a certain amount, right?
Yeah.
So that thing,
it's a restriction.
with money, and only with those two things you buy a piece of thing.
During the Cultural Revolution, when I grew up,
all too familiar with those.
Every person has 30 kilos of rice and 1 kilo of cooking oil, 1 kilo of meat. Same thing. Yeah.
So that reminds you.
That's totally remind me of Mao's China. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me you also visit a hospital because they, here we have people, promoting like a free Medicare, free, hospital. So how was the experience?
Okay, you can show. I have one picture of the hospital.
Right.
So because I wander around, I see some a good side of the town, which is beautiful, and that's fine. But I really want to see the real Cuba. So I wander around, and I can see that it's a hospital.
Oh,
because
that's a beautiful one.
Yeah, the word hospital on top, it's kind of like English. So I walked in. It's beautiful. It's because it's built before Castro time. So I walked in, and I just immediately smelled this overwhelming stink. And so I saw there is a restroom there, and door was wide open, and the toilet was clogged and then overflowing. And I saw the urine and the poops on the floor.
Oh.
And I said, okay, I don't think I need to go in to see anymore the quality of service that hospital can offer. I also want to show you I had a conversation with this young black young man. He graduated from University of Havana with a degree in computer science.
Wow,
oh, that's something.
He doesn't own computer, and he got a job sweeping the street. Can you go back to the other photo?
So that's he's on the job.
This computer science graduate does not own the computer.
And he only got the job to sweep the floor on the street.
Yes.
Probably he's lucky already.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. And I also wandered into some apartment buildings. And so there's a video I want you to show that how bad the condition of that apartment building. Yeah.
That's the one?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think there's someone coming down, yeah.
He was living there?
Yeah, living there. And then I walk up to the building, and so probably was a fancy apartment building before. So look how dangerous, not to say bad, or it's just dangerous living conditions. Those things can collapse anytime, those rails. And there is one video of the entrance. They're like a spider web of wires that people kind of use, maybe electricity, maybe I don't know what. And then there is a photo of a middle-aged woman and a young girl. Can you find it? And I walked to the top floor of that. Yes, very lovely people. Mm-hmm. And that's I figured with just limited communication that it's a granddaughter and live in one room. This is one room with kitchen and bathroom, no bathroom, and bed. One tiny space, kind of as big as my cubicle at work.
Wow.
Here's what I really want to say, that the problem with a lot of the Americans is that they go there and they see whatever, the things that, their time allowed them to see. And then they come back and they think they saw Cuba. And also, when I was there, I met American. It just happened that I found that he speaks English. I said, wow, you speak beautiful English. He said, American. Okay, and he goes there often. And so we started to have a conversation because he wanted to show me the bus stop that I should use to take the bus to go to where I want to go. So after a little while, we realized we really don't agree on a lot of things. So I said, I'm from China, so I'm very familiar with communism. He said, this is a great country. He said, people here are equal. And he said, Cubans are the most educated people in Latin America. I was like, yeah, Mao also did that. Mao erased a lot of illiteracy. But they don't know. In a communist country, you can learn to read. They teach you how to read, but you can only read what they want you to read. And that's not education. That is indoctrination. And I'm just appalled that a lot of Americans refuse to understand. And he was there visiting. He had the freedom to come and go. And not those Cubans. They had hardly enough to eat. They can't go where they want to go. They can't do what they want to do. They don't have freedom. And Americans, a lot of them just refuse to understand it. And that's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a very good point.
Yeah, it's a very classic story. If an American go to Cuba and stay in the waterfront area, and then he see a different world, very, very differently from what she saw by walking 25 to 30 minutes into the land. So Let me explain a little bit, guys. What she told us, people are in different kind of a category. For a foreigner, they have special type of whatever bill, which they have the privilege to go to a certain special store where they got stuff on the shelf. They can buy from there. For the common people, and then they don't have that. They have little money. They have this coupon. Coupon has to be there to spend the money, buying from stores which has very little things there. So people are different classes. There's yeah. Go ahead, please.
I really want to share this with your audience, that communism will deliver equity. It always does. But what you get is like everyone will have the equal share of misery, of poverty, and of oppression. Please remember that. That's what communism does.
Okay, thank you.
Very well said. Equally poor and equally...
Yeah, we're all equal.
Miserable.
In the sense of owning nothing. So basically, I think we really learned from your experience. we were saying that we want to persuade those extreme leftists or whoever young people who have really great fantasy about socialism. We need to send them to Cuba as a tour, but they have to walk past the waterfront area to see the real life there.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, it's still fake. Back then.
And I have a question. I would like she to share. What's your take? Is then some people just say, well, we can do it better, the socialism.
Yeah,
I know.
They just did it wrong. We Americans can do it again.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think by now probably half of the world population have experienced communism one way or the other, different times, and we have more than hundreds of millions of deaths, and it's still not convincing them. I don't know what will. I just don't know what will. That communism is not just a bad idea. It is pure evil.
All right, so this is...
I think maybe just take a couple minutes. We did a special interview with you at CPAC, but we haven't got the opportunity to air it. I think people are curious about you, right? Because you just all of a sudden become viral all over after your 2-minute speech at the school board meeting.
1 minute.
1 minute, that's right.
Wow, even more precious.
So, people curious about you. So just to give a brief description of yourself and how come you just feel so passionate, about those issues.
Yeah, now why did you go there? Yeah, please.
Yeah, well, as you are on the front line for years, we see that Americans is going the wrong direction. And especially in schools, we see that our children are indoctrinated. And especially as Chinese Americans, we experience communism. We know what communism is. And we come to this great country, and we love this country, and we love the freedom. And we come with very little. I think most of, at least my generation, we come here with very little. Most of us achieve American dreams, and we do our best to send our children to the best schools and best universities. And too many of us experience this, that they come back from school and they lecture us, and they tell us that this country is a racist country, this country is unjust, and that we don't understand what oppression is, and that we have privilege because we are successful. And this is what indoctrination does to our kids. They turn our children against us and against America. We have to stop it. And that's why I decided I have to do something. So I joined the local Republican committee and also local Republican Women's Club. And we get emails and then tell us what event. And one of them is there is a school board meeting tonight. Please sign up. I did. So I just went. And of course, a lot of people are already doing so much work in Loudoun County, and there was press there and media there. And so it's because the people, the work the people did before, when I was there, somehow the media caught my video and then it went viral.
Okay. And another question. People like you and us, okay. Chinese people are generally quiet, okay. We know what's going on, and we don't like risk. We don't want trouble. We're very quiet. Actually, a lot of viewers, they are very quiet too. They're conservative.
I was too.
Yeah.
I was too.
Yeah, and you did this, right? You did this. From your angle, what do you want to tell to our fellow Chinese Americans who are still quiet, and to our viewers who are really have this fear? I think it's okay to say so, that fear, and what do you want to say to them in this kind of situation, in the current state of this nation?
If you are not okay with what's going on, and especially those that experience Cultural Revolution, knowing what this will take us, with that knowledge, if you still don't do anything, there's nothing I can say. But this is getting late. It's in the late stage already. If we don't do anything, if we want to do anything, it is now. It is already very late. So that's all I can say.
All right.
I was shy. I did not want to speak up. I did not want to go talk to public, but I'm doing it because I want to save the country and to save this country for our children, for our future generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And lastly, I mentioned to our audience that you are one of our audience in the Chinese show.
Yes. I told you are in the front line doing all this wonderful work. Thank you so much. We need more and more people, especially Chinese Americans, because we know what communism is, and we need to step up and share our stories and educate American people.
Okay.
We need to do that.
Okay, so before I let you go, I want to say one thing that you won't like in the very beginning. Actually, I want to compliment the Cuban communist regime here a little bit, because if she went to North Korea, just like how the Otto Warmbier, the Ohio boy, if you remember, and took those photos, she will be dead. So fortunately, she made it back. So which means, we are not in the worst situation. And think about the U.S. now, in America. We still can say things. She can come to our show. She will not be put into jail. We still have that basic freedom. Okay? Just have the guts, say the right thing, defend our freedom.
If you don't defend it, we will let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For coming on our show.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.